All right, welcome to our Grit and Grace Tribe Team Talk Night. I'm going to be sharing some tips that I'm learning from my Jen Casey training. She has a free webinar that you can take where I got some good content from that I'm going to be sharing tonight, but obviously then there's more to it if you want.
What's her name again?
It's Jen Casey. And I liked her ad because she spoke Beachbody language. She talked about trying to hit Success Club and hey girl messages and things like that. And so it sounded very much like she knew, obviously, about Beachbody, which she does. She used to be a health coach herself. I don't think she was with Beachbody, but she was a health coach, and she did network marketing and left to start her own coaching business, which she's now doing. But what we're talking about, what she shared first with us was saying, like, basically, are your hey girl messages not going anywhere? Are you not getting sales? Are you struggling to hit Success Club? Are people inspired by you but aren't buying from you? Do you struggle with content ideas and what to say on live video? Do you have inconsistent income? And based on those things, she was saying those are common struggles of having an unclear niche. Speaking of niches, Ashley. But in her masterclass, she gave 4 steps to having better content ideas and to having people come to you to want to work with you. So I was going to share those really quick. Number 1, she talked about what's your expertise. And I like this because it's something that we don't think about, and we should talk about it more, because for some reason we believe that you have to have a certification, you have to have somebody else say that you're an expert in order to claim being an expert, but that's not true. We all have very rich life experience in certain things, and we've been through things that other people have not. So that makes us an expert to someone else. So she gave the example of, would a pregnant mom take advice from a mom with a 6-month-old baby? Yeah, she would. She would absolutely take advice from a mom with a 6-month-old, because a mom with a 6-month-old has just done it. And she said, we tend to think that it's a disadvantage to be, well, I only have a 6-month-old. I'm not that seasoned of a mom, so you probably don't want my advice. But in reality, I would want a mom with a 6-month-old's advice if I'm about to give birth over someone who has a 10-year-old. Because the 10-year-old hasn't been in the baby stage for 10 years. Times have changed. There's new stuff out there for moms, and they wouldn't know about it. So she was saying it's to your advantage to actually have just gone through and to be closer to the point that that person is, that they're going through it. So you should embrace that. If you have successfully achieved any results within an amount of time, you are an expert. They will relate to you more if you're closer to where they are. And she says, why not me to step forward and be an expert? And so that's kind of the question for you, is why not you? And I'll dig into this a little bit more, because I got to go through one of her classes where she talked about figuring out your areas of expertise. And I gave these examples to some of my coaches. But she talked about how there are 3 kinds of experts. So this will help you narrow down where you're an expert. Number 1 is the results expert. You've had success with something, so now you can walk someone else through it. So you've lost 30 pounds in the last however many months, and now you can help someone else walk through losing weight. Number 2 is the research expert. You're someone who maybe is really interested in a certain topic, and you like to study it or research it, or you do interviews of the results people, and you collect all this data, and you save people time and money because they can come to you and ask about it, and they don't have to do the legwork themselves. Number 3 is the role model expert. You are someone that people trust about something. So like if you have a flat tire, you're going to call your dad because you know he can change your tire and help you with it. So being a role model in some sort of area where people trust you and look to you for an answer about something. And then what you're supposed to do is write down, what do I have expertise in and in which ways? And I picked several because she talked about making an expertise sandwich, which I also thought was really smart. So the expertise sandwich is layering your areas of expertise with your coaching business, because this is how you stand out from other coaches. If we all just are a Beachbody coach, if we all just run boot camps, if we all just sell the same product, we're all the same. But when you can layer your areas of expertise with your business, that's how you stand apart, and that's marketing magic is what she calls it. So she used to parcel them all out when in reality she should have combined them. So she gave an example of a woman who was she had history in beauty pageants, also in financial advising, and she was now in network marketing with health and wellness. So they talked to her and they said, well, okay, out of your past history, like beauty pageants and financial advising, who has more urgency to get in shape? Who has a deadline? Okay, beauty pageant people all the way, right? So they gave her an idea of helping specifically beauty pageant people get in shape. And then they combined her financial advising with teaching them how to do it on a budget, because beauty pageants are expensive. They cost about $10,000 to do it, while generating income, which brought in them being able to join her team and get on her MLM and getting in shape. So she was able to combine the beauty pageant expertise along with her financial advising and her network marketing group. So what you're supposed to do is write down your previous expertise / hobbies and your story and blend it with your health and fitness business. So if you want to take time to write down what you are a results expert in, a research expert in, or a role model expert in. Oh, did you get it, Ashley? I just saw your question. Yeah. And I think you should pick fun things, obviously. Like, don't pick things that you're like, well, I know this, but I hate it. Like, because you're not going to want to do it as a business. So that's digging a little bit more into your expertise, which I found super helpful, because if you know your areas of expertise and what you want to layer with your business, it gives you content ideas of what to write about in a post and what you even claim to be. So I changed my Instagram bio to say, like, I help women do this because I'm stepping into my expertise. So number one, you need to own your expertise, figure that out. Number two, what's your niche? Relating to products, services, or interests that appeal to a small, specialized section of the population. That's what niche means. And she gave great examples of how Planet Fitness publicly says who they do not want to come to their gym. They say no lunks allowed. They advertise that they have pizza Mondays, where they literally give out free pizza on Mondays. They are that gym. Like, they're very specific in what they say in their niche, and they're very specific about who they do not want there. I think they even said something about dress code. Like, literally, they're very specific in it. Results expert? Sorry, I'm reading your question. What's your expertise? Results, research, role model. Yes. What's your niche? Is number two. Yep. So she said staying general and marketing to everyone won't work, because it also keeps your message really vague. And when you try to reach everyone, you don't actually succeed. So Planet Fitness exploded their business from, like, I don't even remember what the numbers were, but they're making like billions of dollars now a year after they took their thing and made it pretty obvious who they didn't want to work with. Niche experts can go deeper in their content, because you know who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. And you can speak very specifically to the people you're looking for. So you can speak their language, and they'll get you. That's how you have people coming to you saying, like, I get you, where have you been my whole life? And you'll definitely have people saying, oh, I like do not like you. But that's the secret to success. If you think about successful people, every successful person is polarizing in some way. I was telling my coaches, Donald Trump, extremely polarizing. So is Kanye West. They're both extremely successful. People love or hate them, and they're very specific in who they work with. What's your story? She says, everyone has a 6-figure story inside of you. You are in your bubble and you're too close to it. It's your norm. And you need to try to see your world through the lens of someone else. So in order to figure out your story, here's a couple of questions. What have you successfully overcome? And what did you learn from it? And she says, not only do you have a story, but story content is being created around you 24/7, which is so true. And I think that's something that's hard to learn in the beginning of coaching with social media, because you don't feel like your life is a story. And I remember when I first started with social media, I was like, I don't know what to post. Like I just like did my day. Like, I don't know. And you have to learn like how to kind of make it into a story. That's a skill. But it's just coming back to asking, how can I use this as content? Stories are a vehicle for learning. They evoke emotion, which increases memory and recall. And I think this is where she talked about in school, would you rather learn about history from a book or from a movie? And how you can remember things from a movie because they're so much more interesting and they actually evoke memory and recall. But then she said, only use stories to create connection and brand memorability, which I found interesting because it's not like using stories to shame people or using stories to get a sale, but it was more like use stories to create connection and brand memorability. Point number 4 was, what is your content strategy? Great content needs context. And this is what your context is. Who you are marketing to, your niche, the problem that you solve, your expertise, and your brand message or your story. That's your context. So she was basically saying, if I'm talking to a certain type of people, some scientists, I might use language that they understand, as opposed to if I'm in a mom's group and I'm talking to them about the same idea. So remembering the context and who you're speaking to. And this is why it's so important to niche down, because if you know your niche, you know their language and you know how to speak right to them. So when you're doing a post, you should be thinking, okay, who am I marketing to? What problem am I solving in this post? And what's my brand message or my story with it? Which I was like, oh my gosh, that's how you put out consistent value in your posts. That's how you claim your expertise with people, is by putting this out there consistently. Not only showing who I am, but you're always showing them some sort of a lesson from it, which then makes you an expert in their mind. She was saying, share consistent value, answer questions on live video, share your story, and always invite to something free. So basically, you should just be giving all the time. If you want people coming to you saying, how can I work with you? Like, you need to be giving a lot more. What compels you to buy? Sit down and think about it. Why do you buy from certain people and not others? Marketing is like dating, which we've all heard. Build the relationship. But she said specifically, you need to be putting out there what's in it for them. What is in it for them to work with you? A lack of ideas is not a creativity problem. It's a lack of clarity in your niche, avatar, and message. Which I found so true, because as soon as I started to think about who my niche was, I knew more what to write about and how to speak and like what they would want to know. She said, without creating valuable content, one, potential clients have no way to vet you. So she kept asking, where can people go right now to vet you? And the best way people like to vet you is either video or audio. So you should be having videos up where you're answering questions or answering things that people want to learn from you, giving that away for free, or do a podcast. And she was talking about how Instagram TV is awesome for this, because that's basically where people can go to get to know you and vet you and see if they really want to buy into you. Without creating valuable content, generating sales will require more effort, and you miss the opportunity to connect with your audience. And she said, a lack of an effective social media sales strategy typically results in stress, money objections, and the sound of crickets due to lack of brand and product awareness. Which I was like, yes, that is so true. And that's just a lack of an effective social media sales strategy. It's not a lack of value there. It's just that you don't know how to put it out there because you haven't niched down. But she said you might only be 1 degree off. You might only be 1 degree off. So it's just getting really intentional with that. So what I've taken away, or what I've been working on, is obviously figuring out my areas of expertise, figuring out my niche, making that sandwich. And then she gave some really great ideas in a live that she did in the group I'm in about with social media posts, how you should be always educating people with a story. And your product can be in there, but the product shouldn't be the focus. It should be somehow related to what's in it for them. So example, you might have your shake sitting next to you while you're doing a burpee, and you talk about not the shake, but you share a story of how you used to feel and how now that you're getting your superfoods, you can actually do some burpees or something. So the shake's not the focus of the picture. You're sharing a story about yourself, and then you're saying what's in it for them for your niche. So moms in my group with littles obviously need to be able to run after their kids. And now I can do burpees and run after my kids. But moms in somebody else's age group, like a newborn, she doesn't need to run after her kids, but she needs to have some energy because they're tired. So you got to think about who you're speaking to. That's where your niche comes in. She talked about, doing posts on educating them why organic matters, or different things that as a health coach you would be passionate about that have nothing to do with getting a sale. But again, it's just positioning yourself as an expert and giving away something to them for free. And she talked about batching a lot. She was saying how you should take pictures, you should plan it out ahead of time, what you're going to share. You should take pictures and plan them in a day, and then you can write posts ahead of time, that type of thing, because you'll have way better content and you get to think about it. Because again, you're going to think about your niche and what do they need? What would they want to hear? What would they want to learn about before they signed up with you? So, that was kind of what I was going to share tonight from what I've been taking away. But there's a ton more I could go through.
I really like that. And I think the important thing for especially newer coaches is a lot of times you're scared to post about products or, just sharing your pieces of your coach life, because you see it so much. You're friends with a lot of coaches, or you're part of our team. So like things I post, things Joy posts pops in your newsfeed. You see it so much. So you assume that other people are seeing that just as often, and you feel like you can't share. So always remember, like, you see things 100 times more than the regular person. So you're not oversharing when you're sharing your story or making product posts. And then, like Joy said, like, one of the best things I did to save time was Tracy Schroeder. Well, another coach taught me this. Like, on a day you're feeling really good, like you're dressed up, your makeup's done. Yeah, take some photos around the house. Do your own lifestyle shoot. Do one with your shake. Stage one where you're working out if you want to stage it. Shoot a video for your challenge group. Just like knock it all out one morning, so you have like several things to pull from while you feel. Even if you have to change your outfit, like. You can totally do that to craft content and save time.
And Jen Casey really talks about how you shouldn't be following a bunch of people in your business, not on your team, but she's saying, like, don't follow health coaches. She really encourages mixing with other network marketing companies. So not being afraid to go follow people who are totally outside of Beachbody, but they might be in another network marketing business, or even other businesses. And she's like, you definitely want to collaborate with other people that are not in your field at all, because that's how you cross-pollinate with their followers. Because if you're collabing with them and giving away, again, some good content to your followers and theirs, now you're exposed to their followers too. and you're still giving away stuff for free to yours. So she's like, do some interviews. Like, if you have a podcast, bring other people on and talk to them. You can have an honest conversation before. And if you're nervous about like them trying to pitch to your audience or something, have an honest conversation beforehand. But that it's really good to get out of your bubble. So stop following other like Beachbody coaches and instead go follow other business owners and try to even mastermind with other business owners. And I totally agree with that, because like you get discouraged when you keep seeing all these other coaches post because you think, oh, they're doing this better than me, or they're doing that better than me, or everyone else is seeing their post. Well, guess what? You're not going after their clients. Like, you're going after your specific niche and you're doing your own thing. So following them makes your bubble even smaller. You're already in a bubble and it's making your bubble even smaller. So you should be expanding that bubble, but with other people that are completely outside of that. So even think of maybe some of your clients that you could collaborate with to give something of value away to your followers and be given, like, be seen by their followers. Exposure, that was the word I was looking for. Given exposure to their followers too. So I definitely recommend that.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of us don't have a podcast. I don't have a podcast, but you could just like ask the friend who's super savvy with organization to go live on your challenge page and talk about, I don't know. I don't like to organize things, but if you do, you could have someone, talk about anything you want to. Like, I just thought I'd have the skincare lady go live in our challenge right now, since it's like Hot Housewives.
But if that's what your niche is looking for. So like, try to go live to everyone, but give your niche something they're looking for. So like, my niche is moms of littles who want to bring their sexy back and feel better. So I know another mom, she's a business owner, who also went through postpartum depression. She's a mom of littles. She's been through marriage struggles. So I asked her, I'm like, let's go live and talk to moms of littles about the postpartum struggle, about drowning, about what makes you feel better. Like, let's talk about it and give like our moms of littles who are drowning some helpful things, since we're a little bit out of it now. And we can talk about that transition from 1 to 2 and like all of that. It's not even just giving stuff to your clients. It's giving stuff to who you want to be your clients. Like, okay, I listen to Chalene Johnson all the time. I listen to her podcast all the time. I follow her on Instagram. She's constantly giving me stuff for free, and I don't buy a thing from her, but I would. Like, if I was going to go sign up for something, I'd probably sign up for her. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, all the people I've ended up signing up with have given me stuff for free, like multiple times before I've ever done anything. Like, they're always in some way that I want to go listen to their podcast, or I want to go see what they have to say about something. So it's more gearing your content even towards that. Like, I don't know, how can I make this post give them something that they would want to look up? What's Joy doing for this, or what's Joy doing for that? So.
Well, and it could even just be like a free tip, because a lot of coaches aren't at the place where they feel like they can collaborate with other people or even confident enough to go live. So as long as you're giving value, like, and that's where you start as a new coach, is you just give value from your own perspective. And then hopefully you do look for ways you can collaborate with other people.
You just go live. I was thinking about when I started Live for 5, it was only because Shelly Gonzalez, who was working the business at the time, did a team-wide challenge where we had to follow this social media posting calendar. And she was going to raffle off a water bottle. And I wanted to do the social media posting calendar. Plus, I thought it would make it easy, because then I wouldn't have to think about it. And she had on there for us to go live once a week. And I was like, ooh, live once a week. Well, sometimes I go live and share a recipe, but I don't know that I'll have like that many to share. I should do something else. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, Peter, we should go live and like share some of the stuff we're learning. But I would not have started. So that's how we started it, was because of that contest, that October contest back in 2016. And we kept going for months, like once a week, it was our thing. And I view it as kind of a podcast. I had people tell me, like, we look on Sunday night for your live. Like, I think it's a helpful thing if you can do something like that on a regular basis. I'm not good at being regular on it now, but I do think that that does build that with people.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, speaking of posting calendars, I was just going to share this because I'm doing a training with Josh Coates, who he's had several top 10 coaches in his training. And so the one thing that I thought would be super practical and helpful is he gave their posting structure for social media. So what days they post what, and they all follow the same exact formula, which kind of keeps it easy. And a lot of it ties into what Joy said. So like on Monday, you would do a product post. So that could be, you know, your Shakeology in the background of your burpees and talking about how you have more energy to keep up with your littles. So you have 2 posts a day. Monday is a product post and a lifestyle post. So anything related to your lifestyle, even if it's just like your kid being cute in the pool for summer. Like I still am a firm believer, people want to see your just regular life. They don't want it all to tie back to your business. So then on Tuesday, you would have a business breadcrumb post, like talking about the community aspect or being involved in your first challenge from the coaching perspective or whatever, just something that kind of ties back to your business. And then you have an engagement boost post. So that's like an engagement boost post would be like the questions, like something like, do you like red wine or white? Something that would get a lot of people commenting. Just one of the dumbest posts. It ended up with like 8,000 views, and it wasn't even me in it. It's this funny thing. This is like a picture of a dress I was considering ordering for my wedding, and everybody wanted to say something about it, which was crazy, but that's a lot of engagement, and that's the point. Wednesday, a freebie post. So this is like, I mean, you could give something away, but you don't have to be giving something away. Like you could say the first 2 people to comment get a packet of Energize or something, but you don't have to do that. And then Wednesday you're going live. So you're definitely going live once a week. Go live on Wednesday about whatever you want to, but go live. So this could be where you talk about your area of expertise a little bit more in depth. Thursday, you have another business breadcrumb post, and an engagement boost. So Tuesday and Thursday look the exact same. On Friday, it's a product testimonial and a lifestyle post. So similar to a product post, but not quite. So Friday might be your day where you do a before and after. Like it's a product testimonial where you're sharing the results of something. And then on Saturday, you create your content. So there's no post. This is you working on creating content. You can post, he says 2 freebie posts over the weekend. So like if you're on a date night, like you don't have to overthink it, what you'd normally post about. And then on Sunday, there's actually no posting, which is nice because you should take a day off from social media to just be with your family. But you can just expand your network or do follow-ups, or that's extra credit on Sunday if you work on Sundays. But that's the posting formula that they all follow. It's just twice a day, and it's pretty straightforward. I can post it in the team page, but it's helpful because you can look at it and be like, all right, I know on Monday I have to come up with a product post, so I'm going to save the picture of, I don't know, me having Shakeology while the boys have Jack in the Box milkshakes to talk about that in some way. You know, like I can save that for later knowing I'm going to use it. So that's it.
Friday's product testimonial and what?
Product testimonial and another lifestyle post.
And here's a cool thing, engagement posts you should use as market research. Because that's also something we've been learning about, and it's asking questions to find out what your niche wants. So figuring out their pain points and their pleasure points. So I asked the question today, Moms, what was hardest for you about transitioning from 1 to 2 kids? Since that's more my niche. So you can use it as market research and get engagement.
Yes. I started gaining a lot more traction in my business when I publicly said I work with women only. Like if you go to any of my event pages, it says women only. Or even in when I'm talking about and in a public post inviting people to the group usually says ladies only. And it's not like Beachbody doesn't have programs for men, but I can't speak to men. The few times I've worked with men, it just kind of felt awkward. So when I really narrowed that down to I'm like only going to work with women and talk to them.
Well, that's not that narrow.
No.
But
then when I've done groups that are like moms only, those have been really fun. But that's like a macro level example, because a lot of new coaches will say, is this for men too? Or like, can we work with everyone? You can work with everyone, but if you don't really relate to men that well, then you probably wouldn't want to work with them.
Again, you don't see really successful people that are liked by everyone.
Nope.
That appeal to everyone.
Meg Wazinski went from 9-star to 15-star, only working with people who had her thyroid disorder at first. So before she became a mom, it was the only people I felt like she ever worked with or were speaking to struggled with thyroid issues. And then infertility, women who were dealing with fertility when she was trying to get pregnant. But her story and her message changed at different points in her life, and so her niche changed too.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys have any questions?
I have a question. When you were talking about doing an engagement post and like market researching, Joy, I didn't see your post where you were asking questions. Was that just a poll? Is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah, that was a poll on Facebook. Although I didn't make it a poll, I let them just answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just either a post that asking for feedback or a poll in your story or something.
Yeah, you could do it in your story too, for sure.
Well, because Facebook and Instagram both now, they don't necessarily focus on how many likes one of your posts gets, it's how many comments beneath it. So if you post something, Rachel, and it has 30 likes, that's a lot less valuable than it having even just 8 comments from 8 different people. So when you do an engagement post that prompts people to like respond in the comment section, then that means whatever you share next. So pretend like which dress should I wear on date night? A or B, and you have 2 pictures, right? A lot of people are going to comment on that, hopefully. So then maybe on Sunday, when you do an invite to your challenge group, or on Monday when you're talking about the business, more people are going to see that because you posted something that boosts the engagement from your personal page.
That's helpful, yeah.
Here, I can give you some examples when she was talking about marketing. Because she said, if you want to create content like a machine and sell at your programs, it starts with knowing what your ideal client needs. We can sit and guess, but the magic happens when you take the time to do the research, look at the analytics, and organize the information. And she's like, you want to ask your niche. You don't want to ask your grandma and your mom because that's not your niche. So that's why you're doing this. And it works with small or large audiences. So places to ask questions is one-on-one with current or past clients, friends of friends who fit your ideal client avatar. Poll your Facebook following. Ask questions on live video, Instagram posts, and Instagram stories. So here's some examples. Polling on social media. Be concise and keep it simple. Question examples. If you could work with you could say like health coach, lifestyle coach, fitness coach, whatever you want to say, pro bono for a full day, what would you want to learn? What questions would you ask? And that's a little more business geared, but you can still ask it. Another one that I liked is, if you could pick my brain for 2 hours, what would you ask? And you can always tell people like answer with an emoji or a GIF. And that makes it even more fun. I need to hear from 5 busy moms. What's the most frustrating part of sticking to your nutrition and exercise plan after having kids? You can give them options, A, B, and C, because people usually like that because it's short and sweet. Drop a GIF below to describe your relationship with, and you fill in the blank, with money, sales, social media. You could say Christmas dinner. Like, whatever, and it makes it fun. And you also know, like, okay, what's their relationship like with Christmas dinner? Maybe they need a nutrition plan that would help them. That would give you some good research there. You could also ask something like, what would 10K a month or reaching your goal weight or whatever feel like for you? And ask them, like, what would that feel like? I like this one. Fill in the blank. Abundance, success, freedom, health. Pick one of them and then just say that is, and they fill in the blank. So abundance is, and they fill that in. The number one reason I struggle to stick with the nutrition plan. They can pick from time, sustainable plan, or motivation. And then she also said you can do surveys where you make them on type form or WUFU, which we've done before. But she was saying always give them incentive to fill it out. So like you'll raffle off a water bottle or something. So it's how many of you are still working full-time jobs and hoping to make enough money in your side business to finally quit? Comment yes if you're working a regular job right now while trying to grow your own business. Or you could say, let's fill out this survey if you be raffled to win a water bottle or something. But I find that those don't work as well until you have a larger following, I think, personally.
Yeah.
And
And also the engagement questions in your challenge groups.
Totally. And then pay attention to the language and phrases they use, because that's the language and phrasing you're going to want to use in your posts. When you talk about why they should sign up with this program, that's exactly what she did to get me. She was talking about Success Club. She was talking about trying to rank advance. Like she was actually speaking Beachbody language. So then I wanted to sign up with her because I knew she knows about Beachbody. She doesn't just know about coaching business. So just take that into consideration.
Yeah. So what was the example of a bad hey girl message? Did you have that?
Oh, we did talk about that. She talks about those as cold messaging, as in someone who's never liked or commented anything, never messaged you, and you send them a hey girl message. She talks about how that's not long game strategy, and that's burning a lot of bridges that don't need to happen, and how you want to get people coming to you. And so we've talked about other strategies as far as that goes, but she did say, she goes, if someone comments on my post or likes it or responds to something in my story, I'm definitely going to send them a message that says, hey, do you know that I actually work with people who want to go on a deeper level? Is that something you'd be interested in? She's like, absolutely, I would do that. So it's more about creating the content, again, that gets people to engage and respond and gives them something so that you can send those messages. So if you're creating better content in the first place, you're going to have more opportunities to send those.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I was like, at first I was like, I don't know what she means by a cold hey girl message. And then she finally in her live said that. She was like, I'm talking about someone who's never which happened to me, by the way, because I used that stupid marketing company that Ashley knows about a while ago that was growing my Instagram by following certain people. And they followed a coach, of course, who's got maybe 1,000 followers. And as soon as they followed her, I got a message from her being like, hey girl, do you want to join my boot camp? I hadn't even liked anything. Well, maybe they did. I don't know, but I hadn't. And so I was like, and unfollow. And I unfollowed her. And literally 2 days ago, I just got another message from her asking if I would now be interested in the business. And I responded, I was like, because I looked, I'm like, do I follow her? No, I don't. So I was like, I don't even follow you. I'm actually a coach myself, but good luck. Like that to me is definitely a cool message. Like I've not interacted with you whatsoever. And you're asking me if I want to do this. And Jen Casey talks like, if it doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. If it feels right to you and you feel authentic in that, do it. The biggest point is if it's not feeling right to you and you're not feeling authentic, people will feel that. And she says, always challenge things that don't work for you. So if doing everything in a power hour every day doesn't work for you, then don't do it in batches. But she was like, the one downside to network marketing businesses is that they can so think it just has to be one way, and that's not true. And especially if it doesn't feel right to you, you shouldn't just be doing it that one way. So I was like, well, I like that for sure. So she was like, go with what feels good and authentic to you.
I like it. It's good. I have to figure out my area of expertise.
Military spouse. Hello.
No, I know that's mine, but I just have to embrace it because I've always been the anti-military spouse.
Well, maybe that's even more of a niche.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Like, I've always been that person who doesn't go to the parties and doesn't know how to get to her husband's office and doesn't hang out with other spouses. So I need to like really work on that.
I like Rachel's idea of owning it.
There's others out there.
Yeah.
Just own it.
I'll do that. Officers' wives. Katie, do you have any questions with your second week of coaching under your belt?
No, I don't have any questions, but this was a good call to sit in on because the social media thing is what overwhelms me because I'm like, I've done nothing but potty train my 3-year-old all week, so my day is broken up in 20-minute ducky alarms because we have to run to the potty, so I'm like, so then I like work out late at night because Gary's working nights this week, and then I'm like, okay, well the lighting sucks, I'm in my dark basement, like this isn't even cute to post, and then I just don't post anything.
So first of all, you're an expert this week in potty training.
Yeah.
There your post.
Lord, I wish I was an expert in potty training. But yeah, like I overthink everything, and I'm like, why would anybody care about what's going on in my life?
Yeah, you do overthink everything. Because, hi, how are you?
Vicky, yeah, he's not in bed yet.
I'm going to bed.
Okay,
You're going to bed. I hope you have good dreams.
Say no night.
Good night.
Okay.
I'll tell you why, Katie, because in about 6 months, there'll be another mom out there who needs to potty train. And she's like, wait a minute, I just saw this girl. She posted about it.
Yeah.
She knows how to potty train, and it'll look for you.
So, and I think you can be an expert. Like Joy was saying, you don't have to be an expert. Like, I kind of consider myself an expert in just being real about my life. Like, I'm not an expert in any one area, but I'm an expert at, like, being honest about what's going on in my life. So like you being honest about like not having your crap together while you're potty training could be a really funny, relatable post.
Totally.
So I'm glad that was helpful. I still have to work out tonight too, actually. Same boat.
Ugh.
I know.
I'm so tired. That sounds miserable.
No.
I cannot work out in the evenings.
I know. All right. Well, this was recorded, so that was good, Joy. I took a lot of notes.
I'm glad. I've been taking a ton myself.
Good. All right, girls. I can't see if anyone else is on, but
I don't think so.
okay. I'm on my phone. All right, good. Well,
Could I ask
Thursday morning. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
one other question? Is this still being recorded right now?
Yeah, but I can stop.
It's either way. It just isn't related to this exact.